Our first session is with Claudia from WARM, that's World Airplay Radio Monitor, and she's going to give us a tutorial on their radio monitoring platform. So without further ado, I'm going to pass you over to Claudia, mute my mic and turn off my camera. Right, enjoy guys.
Hi everyone, thank you very much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here. So I'm just gonna start sharing my presentation right here. Okay, now. So as you know, my name is Claudia and I'm the Business Operations Manager at WARM, which stands for World Airplay Radio Monitor. During this tutorial, I'm gonna explain a little bit about WARM, how it started, what's the problem that we're trying to solve, and then I'm gonna pass to explain a little bit why radio is still very relevant in the music industry, also how to increase your airplay, how to get your song to be played on international radio, and afterwards I'm gonna explain a little bit more about WARM, what are our products, our main focus, and yeah, a little bit about our users, customer stories, etc. And then I'm gonna do the tutorial and I'll spend the last part with Q&A and answering all of your questions. So everything started about 5 years ago when Jesper Skisby, the CEO of WARM, was managing a band called Few Wolves. They were a Danish band, and they were signed to a Danish label. So their promotion was very, very focused on this country. They weren't getting the attention they were expecting, and they even thought of quitting. When one of the band's friend that was in Poland, he let Few Wolves know that they were actually being heavily played in Polish radios. When Few Wolves went to the record label and asked them about where's this data, the record label just said that the data that we're receiving was local. So they were only receiving radio airplay data from Denmark. And that's when Jasper realized that there was actually a journey to begin towards democratizing the music industry and allowing everyone to access their own radio airplay data. So he realized that 90% of the music industry is not getting actual accurate radio data from artists to record labels, publishers, radio promoters, everyone. Why? Because the existing services are or just focusing in biggest radio stations or very focused on one specific country or a specific market. Also, they are very B2B services, so they are quite expensive and it's not accessible to everyone. So there's a long tail missing out on very important radio airplay data. And why is this so important? You may ask yourself. Where actually artists could use this for example, identifying new and emerging markets, identifying their fan base and their audiences. Also, for example, for tour optimization, and also to, for example, just cross data of your streaming services, your social media, and then the data that you get from your radio airplay. Also, it's highly relevant for evidence. So this is actual evidence of the royalties you should be getting from your PRO. So he created WARM. WARM uses auto fingerprinting, AI, and music recognition to be able to tell you when and where your song has been played on international radio. We do have a partnership with a company called Music DNA that is based in Germany. We are actively monitoring 28,000 radio channels all around the world in real time. As you can see here, our radio coverage is pretty big, and there's 100% or 99% radio coverage in a lot of countries all around the world. But why radio? if streaming services are growing so much, why is radio still relevant in the music industry? Well, let's start with the hard facts. This is a graphic from Statista. So in 2020, more than 2,300 million people are listening to the radio right now. Just to put you in a little bit of context, the subscribers for streaming services for 2020 were 400 million. So, and then the forecast is that this number is going to remain kind of the same. Besides, there's a great user penetration of radio in, for example, North America and Europe, being Austria the country with a higher user penetration. But why and with what purposes are people using radio? Well, we discovered that actually people are still trusting their main and preferred radio stations. So they go to their channels and discover new music because they trust the curation, they trust the tastemakers. And you can see here that more than 50% goes to radio to discover new music instead of, for example, the streaming services, which is only like 27% in 2020. But this is not the only reason people use radio. For example, radio is very important for people to still be informed and educated, but also because it creates like a connection, a sense of community. We can see this in the increase that radio has had in mainly all countries during this Corona times. So I just got some numbers. Let me see here. So in the UK, 38% of radio listeners have increased their radio consumption in more than an hour and 45 minutes. The BBC reported a rise of 18% in the listening figures during lockdown. This also happened in the US, where 8 out of 10 Americans said that during this lockdown, they increased the radio listening hours. Also, for example, in Australia, 1.4 million more people are listening to the radio, increasing the time listening to radio for over 4 hours each week. In India, 82% of the population turned into FM radio for credible information during lockdown. But this is not only these countries increase the radio listening time. Also, for example, in Spain, it changed from between 15 minutes and 2 hours to 30 minutes and 3 hours. So radio creates a connection. People still go to radio to have a sense of companionship in times of crisis. Besides, the way that we listen to radio is evolving every year. Now, for example, listening to radio via smart speakers is at its highest level. Also, streaming online radios is the most common way to listen to radio among young people nowadays. But streaming and radio are actually complementary. So, for example, people listen to radio and then they Shazam the song and they add it to the streaming platform. Also, streaming is raising the music awareness and consumption, but radio still is it still has the purpose of a creator of the most popular music, or just like the music discovery as we talked before. Both other platforms can benefit from each other in observing and analyzing the behavior of each other's listeners. But how, like after saying that, yeah, of course, it's very important to have airplay and be active in radio, how to actually get radio airplay. We put together some points after several conversations with our customers over the past years. And this is what we obtained. First of all, you have to be your own radio promoter. There's so many things you can do on your own. For example, you can identify radio stations that have already played your song, contact them, because they most likely will play your songs again. Radio is a very passionate platform. So if they play your song, it's because they actually like your song. there's many more possibilities that you can get your song again played on the same radio station. Also, you can identify similar songs and artists, track where they have been played, and then you can have a list of radio stations that you should be targeting. You should also try to find the curators. So use all of the channels you can, from email, LinkedIn, social media, whatever, and contact them. And this is a very, very important point. Be always personal. That's a thing that every of our customers told us. You have to write very personal emails, very personal messages, and try to create a relation. We are still humans. So just take advantage of the fact that humans rule radio more than streaming. So just like create a connection with them, try to say thanks whenever they play your song, and there's a higher chance that they will play your song again. Think global, not local. Now, all radio stations, or most radio stations, are online. So they most likely have listeners from different countries. Just gonna have a little bit of water. This is also very important. Take control of your own data. The data that you might be having or receiving, from your record label. It's very probable that it's only local data from local radio stations. So go out there, get your own data, and use it. This is very connected to the other point of being your own radio promoter. And then use this AirPlay data as evidence of your potential. So use this AirPlay data to convince streaming curators to add your song to one of their lists. And then with that, it's just a circle. If you get your song played on radio, there are higher chances that you get your song put in a list for example, Spotify, and then you will have more possibilities of getting your song played on radio again. And go for promotion over royalties, since there is much more value in that. So what is exactly WARM? Let's have a look of WARM in a more deeper level. Our mission in WARM is to the disruptive accessibility to unlock the value of radio for every entrepreneur in music. But what does this really mean? It means that we want to revolutionize the music industry by being able to just give the data to artists or to every person in the music industry that needs to own their own data to create to make their own decisions. Our current product is the global radio monitoring, which I'll do the tutorial further on, and the global radio charts, which I'll talk a little bit after this slide. But this is not only the products that we're developing. We have a lot of new projects, very exciting projects that involve, for example, AI and machine learning. We have this radio promotion system where you ingest your music, and we can recommend radio stations that we think has the most potential to play your song based on previous songs that have been played there. We also have radio charts based on genre, and then a mobile on-to-go app, radio royalty calculator, where you will be able to just go to this platform and calculate the royalties that you should be getting in each country. Then we're also building an AI radio hit prediction algorithm, one score, and referral program. Warm Charts is something that we are already using, and it's already out there. It's for free, and it's the biggest radio chart system in the world. And there you have the link. It's just warmcharts.com. We actually divide this between radio stations and college radios, which are very, very important in the US, for example. This is a development roadmap. We expect to have the referral system this year, and then we're going to launch 3 big projects next year. One of them is the historical report, which is going to be ready Q1 next year, and it's going to be able to give historical data. So you will be able to purchase historical data of your song for example, like 5 years ago, or just for Germany in November 2016. So it's gonna be very, very, specialized. This is the prototype of how the app is going to look like. And this is our subscription-based pricing model. So you can see that we are trying to make a system that is very accessible to everyone. So from a big record label to just a very small artist that just released one song, this is a very affordable price for them. And it includes all those points. So for example, time, date, stamp, and duration. The data also goes from city, country, and radio station details. You can export these reports. You can access radio station contacts and radio promoters also contact information. This is our competitors' landscape. During the past years, these services have been the standard of the music industry, and they created kind of like a monopoly in the industry. But as you can see, they are only monitoring 12,000 radio stations altogether, while we offer 28,000 radio stations all around the world. These are our customers. We have users all around the world again, mainly coming from the UK and the States. And these are just some examples of what who our customers are. This is our team, which is divided between Ukraine, London, and Denmark, where the main team is based. And this is a customer story that I find really, really interesting. It's a story of Fanny Hullard. She was a French girl that went to the States to become like a musician. And she created this band with other French people, all based in LA. So they were having actually good success there, but the tourist visa didn't let them charge for any concert or stay there for a longer time. So they had to apply for an artist visa. For doing this, they had to prove that they were extraordinary artists, and they had to put together all the accomplishments. This was not an easy process. But then they discovered Warm. And with Warm, they had all the radio airplay that they had over the years, with everything very structured and all the details. So thanks to having this document, they applied for the artist visa and they got approved. And now they're living in LA and they're getting pretty good numbers and success. So yeah, we can go and do the tutorial. Let me just stop sharing my screen, and I'll just share this screen. Okay, so this is our main page, warmmusic.net. Actually, we're having a Black Friday offer, so go and sign up for it. You just have to go to login. Okay. So this is the main homepage. Here you can upload or search for a song in our database. Wait a sec. You have to upload your song in MP3, or you can just search here. I don't know, for example, Springsteen, and you'll get all of the songs that we already have in the database. This means that there's historical data available for that, and you just don't have to upload the song. You can just select it from here. then to just proceed to checkout, and we'll start monitoring it. We have bundles, so you can upload 5 or 10 songs, and of course you get lower price per song. So I have 2 songs in my database. I can access my songs here in single songs. Oh, wait. Okay, I do not know what's going on. I had 2 songs now. Okay, sorry, my internet's super slow and I think something's going on here. I'm just going to try access it from another tab. Okay, I don't know what's happening. I should be able to access my songs, but I don't know why my internet is not going pretty well. So I think there's a mistake here and there. Okay, I'll just try to add another song. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's happening right now. I think it's a problem with my computer rather than the internet. So well, I can just show you how this works. Just have to upload your song, and then you'll be able to see all of your songs in single songs or in bundles. Then you can access plays, and you can see where it has been. Yeah, I think we can move to questions because this doesn't seem to be working. Or wait, I can actually share. I can share one presentation that I have. Give me 1 second, and then I can just like present. Yeah, this. Okay, so this is our dashboard when it works, when my internet works. So this is what it looks like. You have your song, and then you can decide what time frame do you want to see and what data do you want to see. So you can filter in continents, countries, city, and channels, meaning radio stations. Then you see the plays that you have, the amount of plays, of course, according to your time frame, the continents, and you have here a map where you can just like see where it has been played, and the main countries. For example, here you have the map, and you can just like zoom in and see what cities have been playing your song, and in which radios, like you can see here. And you have here the complete data that you get with our system. You can, of course, download it in PDF in Excel, and you get the time and the date, the duration of the song in the radio, then the artist, title, channel name, city, and country. So yeah, I'm sorry, guys. The internet wasn't working that well, but yeah, if you have any questions, just like shoot it over, and we can start with a Q&A session, if that's okay, Kelly.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, please drop them in the chat box at the side. I think that it's amazing that you've got 28,000 stations already on your platform. And are you guys constantly like growing and trying to get more radio stations on board?
Yeah, actually, yes, because the radio stations work like we have a list, and then everyone can request new radio stations. So we get, I don't know, like 1,000 requests a month, and we normally add 200 to 300 new radio stations each month.
Why is it important for artists and musicians to gather this data on where their songs have been played? What can this data be used for and useful for them for their careers?
Mainly for marketing strategies, one of the things, because you can get to know where your audiences are, where your fan base is, start promoting it there, start promoting your song there. And also as an evidence, you can go to your PRO and show the evidence of where you've been played, and collect the royalties that you actually own.
Could this kind of platform be integrated with something like blockchain to distribute royalties? Obviously, theoretically at the moment, could you also like have it so that the royalties are connected and are instantaneously paid?
Well, that's a very hard question because it's so bureaucratic. It depends so much of the country. Like it varies very, very, very much. So I don't think now that's something that's possible, but maybe the future, of course. But the national PROs all have their own way of doing things. So it's not that easy to collect everything and just put it together in one platform. But it would be great. Yeah,
it would be great if that was the case. So we've got a question from Elise. Is AI becoming a bigger industry standard, or is this a fairly new innovation for radio monitoring?
I think it's a fairly new innovation. It's not that standardized yet, but I honestly think that in the near future it's gonna start being very, very important in the music industry, and it's gonna change definitely a lot of things and a lot of like the ways that we do everything. Yeah.
So in terms of the pricing again, can you just remind us of that Black Friday offer that you've got running just now?
Yeah, from Friday to Monday this week, with every purchase that you have, you have 50% discount in the second one that you can actually use until the end of the year. So
great. Mm-hmm. And so you can use this almost as a targeting tool as well as just collecting that data that you've had a play on a radio station. but you're saying that you can also use this platform to almost identify certain stations that your artist or your song could be good for. Are you able to explain more about how you can use this sort of platform for actual like making your targets?
Yeah. First of all, you can identify where people are listening to your song. So, for example, in a college radio in Canada, you can start seeing that Icelandic rock band is being heavily played. So then you can have there like an option of going there and creating like a tour in Canada, or just going there and booking a place and just like make a concert there. But also it's good for your own promotion in the sense of you can track one song that is similar to yours and then see where it has been played and what radio stations liked that song. So you can target them and just like write them an email, show the song, and there's a high possibility that you can get played in a radio that have been playing similar songs to yours. So
yeah, that all sounds great, and it sounds like a really, really useful platform for myself as a label manager, and for anyone from the very starting out as an artist. And I guess you have some major partners as well that you're connected with. I think if we don't have any more questions, I think we'll just wrap that up for now.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you'd like to add, Claudia or Jesper? I've seen you were in the chat as well. I think it's been great to see how the platform works a bit as well. It looks really, really easy to, you just upload your song, and then you've got analytics and data, all them. I think just to stress the importance of, having some insight into where, you'll probably see that your song's been played on radio stations you had no idea even existed. And yeah, it just brings those sort of revenue streams to light for artists. And yeah, I think that if you're an artist releasing a track, put some money behind this, and it'll definitely help with the radio side and promoting your own independently. Well, thank you very much, Claudia.
And thank you very much. I'm so sorry the internet was so bad. I don't know what happened. I guess I don't know if my computer's about to explode. I don't know why. So
I will leave the link for I'll leave the link for the platform in the chat box for anyone to go and see. I think we've just had
one more question.
From Fiona. Just wondering, is there a time limit on how far back in time you can track a song?
Actually, I would say like 2015, because Music DNA we only have a time frame of the data that we have. So when the company was created. But the thing it has to be monitored since then. So if it's a major song or a very, very well-known song, there's a higher possibility that there's data from 2015 to now. But of course, if it's a new release or if it's a song that hasn't been uploaded yet to the database, there's no historical data. I just wanted to,
So if you've got a release coming up, say in 3 months' time, could you upload the track 3 months prior to your release?
Yeah, of course. And actually, exactly. I think it's much better if, as soon as you release something, just upload it to the database so we have information. And it's not only for monitoring right now, but imagine if you want to know your data from, again, 2 years prior, you can access that data. So, yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Claudia.
Thank you.
We're back at 11 o'clock for the panel Understanding and Collecting Your Publishing Royalties with Lara Barker from Songtrust. I just want to make sure everyone knows the Hopin platform well. go check out the sessions that are on just now. Networking, give the networking tab a bash. It'll be good laugh. And the expo booths as well. Make sure you check all that out. We're finishing up a bit early, so you've got time to go and have a wee look about. Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks, Claudia. Have a great day.
Thank you. And if you have any questions, please just shoot me an email. My email is claudia@warm.ninja. So
I'll just leave that in the chat box as well just now. Thanks so much,
Claudia.
Claudia.
Thank you very much.